Good morning, everybody. This is Jody Giannakopoulos at Addison Library. We're actually not there, but we are looking forward to the day when we have this kind of beautiful weather and we're outside with Marty. It's going to be awesome. Soon, folks, soon. But until that time, please enjoy our morning session as we do every Thursday morning at 10 a.m. Central Time. You can watch this live streaming on YouTube at any time after this, and you can always go back to the previous videos of Marty and other really cool stuff in our YouTube channel at Addison Public Library. Without further ado, I also want to mention, right after this, I'm going to do this amazing program, Paper Lanterns, which are decorative paper crafts with my friend Georgia. And this evening I am going to have with Michelle Nichols from Adler Planetarium, sky watching with your eyes, so that you can look up at the heavens without a device and see what's going on during this eclipse season. So thanks, Marty, for being here this morning. And I'm going to hand it over to Our Lady. See y'all soon.
Thank you so much, Jody. Always love being here. I just kind of pretend y'all are out there and I can see your faces. So welcome. It is chair yoga. Happy Thursday. We have to take advantage of being able to practice this in our home. So first and foremost is find a comfortable spot for you. For me, it's going to be my couch, but you can use a kitchen chair, a desk chair, whatever it is. You might even be able to do some of these poses just laying down or on the floor. So for me, my chair is really low, so I always need to grab a cushion just to get those hips a little bit higher. Perfect. So it's kind of all about finding that sweet spot, because you don't want your hips to be too high, but you don't want your hips to be lower than your knees. So if you can get to a comfortable seated position where your hips are right in line with your knees, or maybe a tiny bit higher, it's going to be easier for you to do these poses, and it's going to feel much better in that low back for you. Okay. You'll just notice that tension kind of doesn't build like it can build in some chairs. All right, if you've never done this before, you are in the right place. This is not about no pain, no gain. This is about being gentle to your body, listening to your body, paying attention to where is tight, where you feel tension, and then just gently moving through it. So if something hurts, know your limitations. If you've had any major hip replacements, maybe no auto rotations, especially if a doctor's ever told you no auto rotations. We'll do some things with our shoulders. So if you do have limitations, just listen to those. There's no use in agitating anything. There's no good in agitating something that you know is hurting. So be mindful and just modify those poses to be gentle. That, I think, is my favorite thing about being at home, is because we are more likely to modify when we are at home and by ourselves than we are to maybe in a public setting. I know sometimes we get in our head a little bit and are less likely to modify just because we want to push ourselves to be able to do it, but not the class. So again, listen to your body and get nice and comfortable. Perfect. All right. So we're going to get nice and comfortable in our seats. Know the back of your chair is always there for you. If you'd like to feel more supported, you can lean back. Just make sure that spine is long. It doesn't need to feel stiff or rigid, but we just want to keep that spine tall rather than letting our body hunch over. Okay. Go ahead and let those eyelids close, and we'll take a nice long breath together. So breathe out. Full breath in. Open mouth, let it go. One more, just like that. Big breath in. And out. Good. Take as many of those as you need. You'll really notice just the softness that your body creates here. With every breath out, you're releasing some tension. You're feeling that calmness take over. Letting those eyelids get heavy and soft. Feeling the skin on your forehead get smooth. Let your tongue go away from the roof of your mouth. Give your lips permission to split open. Feel that jaw soften. Notice and feel that calm, relaxed expression on your face. Feel those breath in, the breath out. Every exhale, let it make you feel more soft and more grounded in your space. Take a moment to set an intention for yourself today. So that could be whatever brought you to this practice, to this YouTube video, to this space. Let it be the reason you breathe, the reason you move. Let it keep your attention the entire hour. It could also be, maybe it's for someone else. Maybe you set an intention or a prayer for someone else who needs it. Let's go ahead and seal in that intention with our breath. So big breath in, big breath out. Let's bring both hands to that low belly, so right beneath our belly button. We're going to fill that breath here. So big breath in. Feel that low belly come out. Exhale, pull that low belly in. Good. Every breath. Fill that space. And then exhale, pull that low belly in. Good. So the more movement we get here in that low belly, the more we're moving, the more we're stretching, the more we're building strength. We're moving those organs. Waking up those organs. We're moving that diaphragm up and down our abdomen. We're freeing up space for breath. We're building strength in our core. We're probably building heat as well. If you did this for the full hour, this would be yoga. And you'd feel amazing, and I'd be so happy for you. We won't do this for an entire hour. But lots of benefits we're building here. We're bringing our attention to our breath, to our body. We are connecting it all together. This is a great way to wake up in the morning, and it's also a great way to fall asleep at night. Two more breaths just like that. And let's move those hands up now just to that low rib cage. Again, you can lean back a little bit if it feels better. We just don't want you to get the need to hunch forward here. So nice tall spine. As we breathe in, we're going to feel those ribs expand outward like fish gills. Exhale, just let them gently draw back in. Good. So I don't want you to use your muscles to breathe out here. Okay. Breathe in, fill that space. And exhale, let them draw back in. Couple more, just like that. Last one. Good. Keep your eyes closed, but big breath in. We're going to relax those hands to our sides and then sweep them all the way up. Like just a big stretch here. Palms will meet together at the top, and then we'll exhale as we draw them through our center. 2 more just like that. Breathe in, release your arms. Big wide arms, palms face forward, reach them up, big stretch. Palms meet, exhale it in. Last one, this time we can open our eyes nice and gently, soft gaze, reach up. And exhale it in. Perfect. From here, we're going to move our body a little bit. So always know the back of your chair is there for support if you need it. Otherwise, if you're able to, you can scoot yourself a little bit forward. We're going to bring those feet wider than hip distance here. Bring that right elbow, right thigh. Okay. And then we're just going to inhale, sweep that left arm up and out, all the way up to the ceiling. Big breath in. Exhale, release. Left elbow down this time. Again, right arm sweeps out and back, reaches up. And exhale. Good. We're just slowly going back and forth, breathing as we move. Breathe in, almost like we're swimming, like we're doing the freestyle. Anybody knows how to do that? Good. Inhale, reach up and up. Perfect. Nice and gentle. Go as tall as you want. Your gaze can come up, but your gaze can be forward too. Whatever feels more comfortable. Don't build any strain in your neck. But breathe as you reach up and then exhale down. Nice, long, smooth breaths. Good. Last one on these sides. Good. And release. Both elbows down. We'll stay here. Just let it square off. For me, this builds a lot of heat in my body. It's a nice way to start your practice. Good. And we'll come all the way up. Feet stay nice and wide. Hands come to our knees. We're going to inhale as we pull that belly button forward. Shoulders roll back. And then exhale, round. Pull that belly button towards the back. Shoulders round forward. Good. Inhale, draw it forward. Perfect. Just back and forth. So these are called our cat-cow poses. So this cat pose here is where we get that angry cat rounded back. And then cow pose is where we get that big arch with our back. Just breathe through it. Exhale as we round. And then inhale as we open. Good. Last one. And release. Good. Sit up nice and tall. We're going to roll those shoulders out. So one shoulder at a time. Good. Nice and gentle. For me, this is where I hold all my tension. So I really feel it. So don't be surprised if you feel it too. I feel a lot of creaks and cracks. I don't feel any pain, but I definitely feel some tension. Good, and relax. Perfect. Relax those shoulders down and back. We'll take one just to reset. Big breath in, reach all the way up. Palms meet. Exhale, bring them through heart center. Perfect. All right, we'll give our arms a little break. We're going to move into a bit of our legs. So from here, we're going to do a couple different things. So we're going to work on strengthening our knee here. So we've done these before. We're going to add to them too, because we're really going to build that strength. So again, we'll always have the opportunity to move into our seat to whatever feels comfortable, okay? So hopefully, let me make sure you guys can see my feet. Perfect. Good. Back on. Nice job. All right, so heels are going to be right underneath our knees. And from here, just sit up nice and tall. And we're just going to lift those heels and drop them down. Good. That's exactly what we're doing here. Nice and slow. They don't have to be fast. But here we're starting to use a lot of the muscles that are in our legs, our ankles, but also are in our knees too. So we're strengthening them here. Okay, this is also really good for our lymphatic system. It starts to get that fluid, that blood that we have in our feet, and helping our body pump that blood and fluids back up to our body so it can circulate, so it can get new oxygen, so you get new vitamins and minerals, all that good stuff. Good. All right, one more time. Perfect. All right, so from here, we're going to take that right leg, reach it out. Heel comes down, toes point up. Make sure we're tall here, so no hunching over. I want you to use that low belly here to keep that tall posture. And I just want you to flex those toes back and forth. Good. Heel stays on the ground. Good. Perfect. Same thing, we're strengthening those muscles. Believe it or not, this is affecting your knee though. It's affecting your ankle, really everything. Same thing, good for that lymphatic system. It's helping us pump that blood up, get it to the rest of our body. Sometimes all that stuff just sits in our feet. All right, let's make big circles with our ankle. Gotta get those cracks, those creaks out, and then we'll reverse it. Good, release. And we'll just bring that leg in, and then we're gonna switch. Same thing. Good. Flex it forward, flex it back. Good, tall posture. So good for our knees. This whole little series here is going to be all about strengthening our knees here. Who doesn't need strong knees? All of us. All of us need them. All right, make those big circles. Those creaks and those cracks out. And then go ahead and reverse them. Perfect. Good, and release, come on down. All right, so from here, I want you to make sure you're comfortable. It's probably gonna require you to sit a little further back into your seat. Tall posture, so you do have, if you're lacking the strength here and you feel yourself round, you do have the option of leaning back. If you feel like you can do it without, really good to work on that core here. So pull that core in, strengthen that core, move a little bit from your core. Tall posture though, okay? So if you do feel yourself start to round, that means you need maybe a little bit more support in your back. You're on, say, a kitchen chair or a desk chair. You can even hold your armrest, hold the bottom of it just for that strength here, okay? So from here, we're just gonna lift that right leg up, try to straighten it, flex the toes back, and then we'll just do 1 point forward and 1 point back, and then release. Good, other leg. So up, flex it back, point it forward, and flex it back, and release. Good. Breathe. Don't forget to breathe here. Up, point, and back. Tall posture. Breathe. Long breaths. Perfect. I know this can be a lot. Keep that tall posture here. Don't forget to breathe. Last side. That's one on each side. And then even it out. And release. Good, good. So here you felt it. You felt it probably in that upper part of our knee here, which again is so important. A lot of the things that we did leading up to it was all the bottom part of those muscles for our knees. So again, great thing to do while you're sitting down in a chair. It is strengthening those really tough muscles that we don't always use, but they're so imperative to our knee health. Okay. All right. So come back a little forward on your seat. Get comfortable again. All right. This time you might want to come a little bit further out of your seat. Feet are going to come together on the floor. And then from here, we're just going to open our knees and close them. Very gentle. We're not doing a lot here. Try not to fall off your seat when you're doing it. Good. All right, when you open up those legs now, I want you to hold it here. Squeeze those outer butt muscles. Sit tall. And then back, squeeze them together. All right, we're going to move into our hips a little bit. So we're just kind of warming some of the parts of our hips. Our hip flexors, our IT bands. We're getting them a little warm. Good. Squeeze them at the top. Last one, open up, squeeze, and then release. Or bring them together. All right, release here. All right, so from here, we're gonna come into our figure 4 or our pigeon pose. So many different names for it, but you're gonna feel it. So left ankle, we'll start off with on top of our right. All right, so kind of just start to slowly move into it. You have options if this is too much. That right leg can go straight. You can come like this. This might be enough. Just keep your tall posture here. You're going to feel it. If this eventually becomes too easy, you can come like this. And then that right knee can just bend a little bit. And then you can build here simply by bending that right knee more and more. And then if this becomes easy enough, you can lean into it. You'll feel a little bit more intense. Now, if the knee is bothering you here, or even if it's not, it's always good to flex those toes back. Keeps those muscles strong and keeps that knee happy. And breathe. And so always good for that sciatic nerve. It's good for our low back. It's good for our hips. That nerve runs right through this big muscle that we're feeling stretch in our butt and our back. So it keeps that muscle nice and it keeps it stretched so that that nerve has some room to breathe and isn't getting all knotted up because of it. But we tend to hold our breath here. I'm guilty because it can be intense. But so make sure you breathe, because when we hold our breath, all of our muscles get tense. All right, let's go ahead and release that leg. Wiggle it out first. It needs it. And then we'll switch. Right ankle. Okay, so again, you can keep that left leg long and then slowly bend into it. The side might be different. That is fine. And breathe. Don't forget to breathe. Last 2 breaths. And then release. Good. Check it out a little bit. Get comfortable in your seats. Wiggle it out. Good. We'll reset. Big breath in. Reach all the way up. Big stretch. Exhale, hands to heart. Always makes me yawn. Just got one there. Okay. Perfect. We're going to give our arms and our shoulders a little bit of love. So we're going to start off taking those hands above our head. I mean, as high as we can get them, but they can be low too. So just whatever feels right. We're tight little fists with our hands and then violently open them up. Good. Just like that. So we're getting that lymphatic system moving, getting that junk out of our fingers, helping with so much of our arthritis in our fingers, swollen fingers, carpal tunnel. We're really tiring out our arms too. Good. So almost the most violent that you go here, the more you're kind of getting that, you're getting all that to drain from your fingers. One more and release. God. Oh, you really feel it. All right, we're going to roll our shoulders. So inhale our shoulders up. Exhale down and back. Good. Nice big circles. Down and back. One more time. And down and back. Perfect. We're going to sit up tall. Depending on what you're sitting in, if you can't reach your hands behind your back, you can move a little bit. You could also just grab the back of your chair or the bottom of your chair. Okay. Those hands will grasp behind your back. Great. And you're going to grasp them just like this. And I just want you to even just rest your hands behind you if you can. And I just want you to pull those shoulders back, pulling that chest, that heart forward, and maybe a little bit up. Maybe you look up, maybe you look forward. It's up to you. Breathe. Always makes me yawn. God, we're really stretching out those pectoral muscles in our chest, in the front of our shoulders. So good for us. Gotta keep checking that time. One more breath. And release. Good. All right. Awesome. Give our upper body a little bit of a break now. You take that right leg, stick it forward, heel comes down, toes point up. Mine are going to kind of disappear, but they're there. They're there. So sit up nice and tall. We're going to make sure that left leg is nice and grounded. That heel is right underneath our knee. Tall spine. Hands come to that left thigh. Little bit of a micro bend in that right knee. So we don't want to hyperextend it here. Okay. So here we're just going to lean that low belly right into that left thigh. I want you to feel just a little bit of a stretch behind that right thigh. Okay, we're getting those hamstrings here. Got to keep those hamstrings nice and stretched and loose. When they're tight, we can't pick up things off of the floor. It's hard to put our pants on, our socks on. It's hard for us to get up off the floor. It also brings us a lot of tension in our low back. So, great muscle to stretch. It also can change. It could limit our gait. So, like as we walk, if you stretch these muscles out a lot, you'll go from walking like this to walking like this. At least that's the hope. That's the hope. I always tell people, so many people say to me, I can't do yoga. I'm not flexible. Yoga is not for the flexible. Gymnastics is for the flexible. Yoga is for the unflexible. So it is all about just gently stretching, because if these poses were easy, it would be a gym routine. It would be like kind of a circus act. You'd be able to do the splits. You'd be able to, put yourself in a pretzel pose. So, just know that when we do feel areas that were really tense, and if it's like your hamstrings, that's the purpose of yoga, is learning where those places are, knowing them, and then having that roadmap of, hey, stretch the hamstrings more, because you know they're tight. You're going to feel better. It's going to feel better in your legs, in your hips, your back, all the way up to your neck. Everything's connected. Okay. So sometimes it's good to be non-flexible. We'll go ahead and switch. Okay, switch. Just get that left leg out. Little bend in that left knee. Tall spine. Okay, hands to that right thigh, and just get that low belly pressing in. Keep those toes flexed back. And breathe. And it's normal for one side of our body to be different than the other. So if one side is much more tense, one side's much more flexible, that's not uncommon, and that's not a sign of something that's wrong. Just how our body is. Keep breathing. Don't lose that breath. 2 more breaths. Good, and then go ahead and release, sit up. All right, we're still working on those legs. So from here, we're just gonna turn a little bit in our seat. Not a lot. Maybe your chair has sides and it restricts you a lot, which is fine. It doesn't need to be a lot at all. We're gonna take that right leg and we're just gonna reach out to the right. Okay, and then you probably have to move that left heel. You want that left heel to be right underneath your right knee. All right, so you're kind of trying to do the splits with that right leg. You are gonna feel it in that inner thigh here. It's a lot. Now, if you've leaned back into your seat a lot, see if you can start to sit yourself up a little bit taller, trying to get those shoulders on top of your hips. Okay, so this is so good for stretching out this muscle here. It's good for the mobility of our hip. Obviously, if you've ever been told no auto rotations with your hip, listen to that. Usually that's only when you have a major hip surgery where they have to take the muscles out. And I think typically they only say that for a few years. But again, listen to your doctors. It's also important we stretch these muscles out too, because these inner thigh muscles and these front thigh muscles are in charge, they attach to the tops of our hips. So when they are tight, they pull our hips forward, making a tall posture really hard for us. Okay, so when we start to stretch those muscles and those front thigh muscles, it makes us taller. It really literally will make a tall posture easier for us. So if you feel these muscles a lot, if this is intense, then you know what you should be doing. Unfortunately, our least favorite poses sometimes are the ones we would benefit the most. And breathe. Breathe. I hear a lot from people who will go to a physical therapist for posture. Especially as we get older, we tend to lose good posture and it becomes very hard for us to build it back up. And they're always kind of upset and surprised that they'll work so much on their legs and their hips. But again, sometimes the reasons we're having issues is because of opposing muscles. So even, our neck pain can be because of these pectoral muscles, because they're pulling everything forward and building tension. Well, when we release those, that posture becomes easier. And it's the same thing with our posture here. So just stretching out these muscles here. Okay, there's this front muscle too, which is really hard for us to stretch out in our chairs. Okay, we'll go ahead and release, bring it in, shake out that leg, and then we'll just switch. So turn to the other side, and then we'll just slide that leg out. Okay. Same thing, slide it out, move that right knee so it's underneath, or it's on top of or move the heel so it's underneath our right knee. If you've leaned back, make sure you stack those shoulders on top of your hips. And breathe. Good. Again, feel that muscle here stretch. You feel it in your pelvis too. These are just not muscles that we tend to ever get stretched. They're kind of always working. They're always in flexion. So it is so important that we do give the opportunity for them to stretch out. Two more breaths. Good, and then release. Awesome. Bring them together, shake them out a little bit. All right, bring those feet wider than hip distance. We're gonna move that spine, hands on our knees, and then we're gonna inhale, pull that belly button forward, shoulders roll back, and then exhale, round. Couple more, follow your breath. You're not boring me. It always makes me yawn. I've already had my coffee too. Couple more breaths. Two more. Good, last one. Awesome, good, sit up nice and tall. Shake out those shoulders a little bit. We're gonna give those rotator cuffs a little love. So elbows right into your sides, pin them here, keep them here. Almost to the point where if I could get like a belt wrapped around here to keep those elbows in, that's exactly what I'd wanna do. The more you can keep them stable here, the more you're gonna get this stretch into those rotator cuffs, okay? So elbows stay here, and then just make circles with your hands. Okay, you can make those circles little too. Don't have to be big. But if you can make them big, go for it. Nice and slow. Squeeze those elbows into your sides. You're gonna feel some really weird muscles start to work here. A lot of them have to do with that rotator cuff. There's 13 muscles that work our rotator cuff. And you're gonna be working all 13 of them right now. Reverse those circles. Good. Keep squeezing those elbows in. Perfect. Elbows stay pinned in. Bring those palms together. And then open them up. Keep squeezing those elbows in. Open them up. Open. Good, one more time. We'll stay open when we get there. Sit up nice and tall. And then we're going to reach those arms all the way up towards the sky. Big stretch up. And then like we're pulling those hands down. I'll tell you. Squeeze those elbows behind your back. That yawn feels so good though. And then inhale, reach it out. I don't want to fight the yawn. Bring them down. Squeeze those elbows together. One more time. Reach it out. Tall spine. And squeeze them down. Good. And release. Perfect. Palms come out nice and wide. And then we're just going to hug ourselves. Just like that. Perfect. Those feet are wider than hip distance here. I want you to keep them strong, tall, and then I want you to very slowly turn. We're just going to hold it here, hold it, but breathe. Good. Back through center, and then turn the other way. Hold it here, but breathe. And release. Remember what hand is on top, and we're just going to open up and give ourselves another hug. Good. Sit up tall. And we're going to turn. Hold it here, but we're going to breathe. Keep those legs strong, so don't let those legs move all over the place. They want. Back through center. And then turn to the other way. Hold it, but breathe. Good, and release. Shake out those shoulders. Good. We'll reset. Big breath in, reach up. We got 3 of these this time. Exhale it. Big breath. And exhale it in. Last one. And release. Good. Those feet are going to be at least hip distance or further. We're going to bring both those elbows to our thighs. Now, just being right here is lengthening that low back, as long as our hips are still sitting on our chair. So make sure that you're not falling off your chair. This is where it's important that those hips, that you're not sitting up too high. Those hips, you don't want those hips too far above your knees because you're going to slide forward here. Good. So this is good for our hips, good for our pelvis, good for that low back. Again, it's lengthening that low back as it tilts our pelvis. We can stay here. This might be enough. We can also bring our hands down to the ground to feel it more intense. Good. We can also rest our head and let our head be heavy here if we want to. Just make sure you breathe. Two more breaths. And then release. Come up nice and slow. First, come up to those elbows. We're going to close our eyes and we're going to take some breaths here. I know this pose can kind of make us a little dizzy. So we just need to come here, close those eyes, breathe, and let everything just come back to regulating. We can stay here as long as we need. If you're ready, go ahead and sit all the way up. You can open your eyes. You can keep them closed. We're just going to breathe in as we reach those arms all the way up. And exhale them down. 2 more of those. That gaze can open when you're ready. Last one here. And out. Good. Right hand comes down to something on our right side. So again, I'm obviously sitting on a couch, so I can, just kind of lean into the next couch cushion. If you have an armrest, you can lean into that. If you don't, you can even just grab the bottom of your chair here. You can also grab your right thigh. Okay. All right, the left arm is going to reach all the way up. I want you to just think about stretching that rib cage. So feeling those ribs expand, not leaning forward, no hunching forward, just nice and tall, and then maybe even reaching a little bit off to the right. Good, big breath. And then release. Switch sides, same thing. Find something to hold on to. And then inhale, reach that right arm up. Big stretch up. Maybe you reach off to the left. Breathe. And release. Sit up tall. Again, feet are probably pretty wide. We're going to take that right hand and we're going to slide the back of our hand to the inside of our right thigh. Just like that. Keep those feet tall or strong. Keep the spine tall. And then we're going to push that hand into that knee and that knee into that hand as we just twist and look over that left shoulder. Big breath in. And release. Same thing other side. Left hand. Back of that left hand slides into the inside of that left thigh. Tall spine, strong legs. And then we're going to push the hand into the knee, knee into the hand as we twist over that right shoulder. Good. Breathe. Good. And then release. Good. Shake out those shoulders. Perfect. From here, we're going to get ready for our Shavasana. So Shavasana is just the end or the death of our practice. It is meant to be somewhere that we can find complete stillness and softness, just relax. So if you feel like you want to lay down for it, go for it. Again, another perk of being in our own homes. So wherever you're at, just make sure you keep that spine tall, not rigid, but just tall. We want to keep those connections nice and healthy in our spine. Okay. All right, we can lean back into our chair as long as that spine stays tall. Relax your hands out at your side, on your lap. They can really be anywhere that feels right for you. Let those eyelids close. Let them become heavy. Let the expression on your face become soft. Feel that calmness just take over your body. Notice that breath as it comes in and out. Feel relaxed, feel calm. Know that you're exactly where you need to be in this moment. Bringing your intentions back into your thoughts, whether it was for yourself or for someone else. Maybe it was whatever brought you to this practice today. Start to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. If you're laying down, just stay exactly where you're at. And bring your hands together in front of your heart. Palms meet, thumb knuckles press into your sternum. Lift your chest high into your thumb knuckles. Take a deep breath in, cleansing breath out. Thank you for sharing this practice with yourself and with the world around you. We always end our practice with namaste, and that just means the light in me honors that light in you. Namaste. Thank you guys. Again, happy Thursday or whatever day you're practicing. I'm so blessed to be part of it, and I can't wait to see you guys in person soon. All right. Take care, you guys.